What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Monday, October 30th, and today's video is a very important message to the DeGod and y00ts community. What I'm very excited about to share with you in this video is what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out and see the bigger picture, also known as the overview effect within DeGods and y00ts, and how it kind of stands against the Ethereum NFT market, against other blue chips and other NFT collections. The reason I want to share this with you, the DeGod and y00ts holders, because some people pay attention to only the present time. They react to the price volatility and don't think long term. So right now I want to share with you in this video how bullish I am around this collection and how it kind of still remains to be the #1 NFT collection, or at least close to the top 3 within Ethereum, because it is showing us in the data and analytics that it continues to be one of the best collections with DeGods and y00ts. So be sure to watch this video throughout its entirety. Stick around to the very end to hear my conclusion and statement, because it's going to be very informative and very educational for you. So with that said, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join our Patreon page, and most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So right now, DeGods is not exactly in the top 5 in terms of the daily trading volume. Well, over the past 7 days, I've seen that DeGods has been almost the #1 collection on Blur and even on OpenSea, which I will share with you in a little bit. So if we go ahead and go into DeGods, right now we can see that the floor price is around 3.16 Ethereum. Now again, the artworks can change between Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 based on what people change in their metadata. If they want to zoom in, they want to have a hexagon or even a square image, as you can see here. But let's go into the analytics. This is really important. So this is the overall chart. Why are we looking at this over the past 30 days? Well, you can see that there was a huge liquidation event where we had the collection above 3.5 Ethereum. But ever since then, we've actually seen a local bottom. This is very important to see right here. Why? Because you have to look at the volume sticks, the volume buying candles. This is where people are buying or selling their NFTs. The most activity happened right here, which is this very sharp decrease. So right now, when you see a liquidation event like this, you are seeing that people are placing their bid orders, or their bid orders are being fulfilled. That means that they get to have those DeGod NFTs from the paper hands. And with the local bottom, what we tend to see is a huge increase in volume and also a huge increase in floor price following that. It depends on how long it's going to take. We don't know when that increase or pump in the floor price is going to be, but nonetheless, when you see the sales activity, it's a lot. We're seeing tons and tons of DeGods being traded within the hours. Seriously, the daily trading volume is actually quite substantial. We've even seen that on OpenSea that this top collector buys today was DeGod for quite a few days. It wasn't just like for an hour, it wasn't just for a day. For 3 days, DeGods was the top collection being traded on OpenSea. And like I said on Blur, there was also that it was the #1 trending collection on Blur, because people are not being this collection. Usually when you see collections like this, you're seeing Bored Apes up there and also Mutant Ape Yacht Club. But right now, DeGods had claimed that place. You cannot ignore when the trend is your friend. That's very important for you guys and girls to understand. And then we also had some breaking news where y00ts, who's the founder of DeGods Factories on Solana, he ended up selling his rank 1 NFT for around 110 Ethereum, roughly 196,000 US dollars. Now, who bought that NFT? Well, it was Free Lunch Capital. We're going to talk about Free Lunch Capital and his company, Flooring Lab, in just a little bit. But he was basically paying homage and paying respect to y00ts, knowing that y00ts was one of the people that helped pump the floor of this collection from 160 to 200 SOL. Also known as a diamond hand, meaning he doesn't sell or paper hand his collections. He just holds the NFTs for a very long time. And he takes profits whenever that time does come around. So that's really cool that Free Lunch Capital did buy that NFT. But most importantly, NFT Stats had to share something about this. And I think you guys and girls need to understand this about DeGods and why this could become the #1 NFT collection. Because over the past 2 months, we've seen that DeGods, at least that NFT that sold for rank 1 for 110 ETH, is one of the top 13 NFTs that have sold way above the floor price, setting new record sales. So this is being compared to top collections. So while this one was sold for 110 ETH for rank 1, you have other things like Bored Ape Yacht Club, which sold for around 112 Ethereum. We also had a Nizuki one sell for 115. And again, the collection keeps going on. CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, more CryptoPunks, and also unique artworks. And also the #1, which is the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Rarity 1-on-1, which is kind of crazy. But again, this is something I want to share with you because this artwork is being being compared to those artworks. This collection is being compared to those collections, those blue chips of Ethereum. Don't forget, DeGods is a collection that came from Solana. This is crazy. And now when you look at what Petty Ice had to say, he said, if you were smart, you'd be accumulating DeGods in use. But you're probably going to listen to the herd and miss out like last time. Because over the legacy of DeGods migrating from Solana over to Ethereum, Solana's story with DeGods has actually been quite extraordinary. We've seen so many dips within DeGods, and a lot of Ethereum people aren't very familiar with DeGods. But if you know the history of DeGods in your Solana head, you do know that DeGods is the #1 collection, had the most trading volume out of the whole ecosystem. In fact, it seemed like DeGods was the only collection that was actually providing a lot of liquidity within the entire Solana blockchain. Yes, you heard me right. Seriously, DeGods had so much millions of trading volume within its collection that literally the reason why Solana was doing so well for so long was because the trading volume within DeGods, the currency within Solana, was being used for that collection. So it's kind of crazy how far we've come. But the most important thing is that's what's regards to DeGods. That's why I think DeGods is going to become the #1 collection eventually at some point in time. But again, this is a collection being compared to CryptoPunks and Bored Apes. So it's just inevitable once this time comes around. Now, like we said, we're going to talk about y00ts. This is very important because we need to talk about this collection because right now, hovering around 0.62 Ethereum. Now, in my previous videos, when I mentioned, and this is something that I did bring up, is that once we have the migration of y00ts over from Polygon over to Ethereum, that we could see a price dip to around close to 0.5 Ethereum. And I mentioned that. But we actually didn't dip that far. We actually ended up dipping to around 0.62 Ethereum. But this is why people have been waiting for these price points, because this is actually close to around 30 Solana to around 40 Solana in terms of conversion rate. So when you look at the bid orders within y00ts, you can see that right now there are 25 people roughly wanting to buy a size of 18 in total within those 25 people. Their entry price bid, 0.61 Ethereum. So they're waiting for those bid orders to be fulfilled. But also not too long ago, we saw a massive amount of whales bid around the same price. They probably had their orders filled as well, because around 19 bidders at a total size of 1,200 NFTs were also bidding at the exact same price. Do not ignore when bidders are bidding this. This is how active Ethereum whales. This is what Ethereum whales do. They buy the paper handbags. They wait for you to basically sell your NFTs. They buy it in bulk, and then they have a little bit more control over the floor price. So when the time comes around, when this price does pump, which they do expect it to happen, they're going to take their profits. This is what smart investors do. And usually these are the investors that have a ton of liquidity, meaning they could just spend all this money, they could wait a long period of time, even up to a year, and then take profits then. So this is why the most wealthiest people, or the ones that have a ton of liquidity, can win this battle compared to people who really depend on this one NFT to change their life, right? Those are two totally different people. So you have to determine to yourself where you are in that. Are you a person who's wanting to buy this NFT to change your life and you're spending your mortgage or spending your savings on this? Or are you going to be a person that uses their investment in these NFTs and wait long term, knowing that the bull market's going to come? So that's the way you have to kind of think about it, and why you have to know to play this game the correct way. So also, Blur ended up featuring the y00ts NFT collection on their homepage, which is actually quite cool because they recognize that this collection is one of the top recognized collections out there. Now, when you go into OpenSea, you have to pay attention to one thing, and that is this: the total volume traded just on OpenSea. Now, not too long ago, we made a video about y00ts, and I remember when this floor price was just around 300 Ethereum. And when I checked the volume price here at around 968 Ethereum, that gave me a clear bull signal that this collection is about to break 1,000 ETH, and that whales, at least Ethereum people who are well established in this industry, have been buying into this collection. So that's quite substantial. You may be looking at the floor price being like, oh my gosh, what's going on at the floor price? It's going to dip more. I'm going to become poor. Well, that's not how the whales are thinking about it. They think about, I cannot wait to buy your bag and I cannot wait to sell when I do take profits. Now, another thing I want to share with you is when we go down to the charts, yeah, you can go ahead and look at the sales. The sales are fulfilled every single hour. But the most important thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the wallet owners. So Flooring Protocol, which is regarding the NFTs that we talked about with Free Lunch Capital. Well, this is where people are kind of like putting their NFTs, I believe, right? And what I'm seeing is that it's roughly around 639 of these y00ts NFTs that are on that floor. So the most important thing is you got to look at the whale holders, right? So if you look over here, you can see that one person named Alpha Big Brain Capital, they had roughly, I think, around 100 NFTs or more of y00ts. But I think what they did was either they took profit or they ended up putting it on Flooring Protocol, which is that website that I talked to you about from Free Lunch Capital. And also Free Lunch Capital right here had a ton of NFTs, but also only has 20. And I also believe that he put his NFTs also there as well. And then if you look down below around Pokey or Pokey ETH, he had around 22 NFTs. Right now he has 20 NFTs in this specific wallet. So maybe he has sold 2, or maybe he's putting more of his NFTs into that Flooring Protocol. But that's something I just want to share with everybody right now, because that's what I'm sharing with you in the analytics. Now, when we look at other people sweeping these NFTs, say for instance, Soul Baby Jesus ended up sweeping 7 of these at a discounted price of around 0.62 Ethereum on average, right? So it's really cool to see that he's accumulating, but also we have this person who has huge conviction, who is literally buying the bags of people who are paper hanging their NFTs. Again, you have to remember that eventually y00ts and DeGods is going to be the number 1, number 2 collection eventually at some time. And again, the artwork is fantastic in my personal opinion. And so I wanted to kind of reach out to people and ask them, do you think the y00ts NFT collection, especially for season 2 that's coming up, do you think that there should be an art upgrade or transformation within the collection? And a majority of you, out of the 105 people that voted, 52% of you said no. And when I read through the comments, the reason some of you said they don't want an art upgrade or transformation is because they just love the artwork itself right now. Why have an art upgrade after that? The reason I bring this up is because the reason I posted this is because the second collection out of Bored Apes was Mutant Apes. That was kind of an art upgrade or a transformation. And that collection ended up doing really well. And then when we talk about DeGods, DeGods season 1 was pretty simplistic art. And then when season 2 came out, season 2 is exactly what made DeGods so famous. So that's why I asked if people wanted a y00ts season 2 art upgrade. So that's just something I want to share with everybody. And then also, maybe there's going to be a Bitcoin y00ts NFT collection that's going to be part of the Clarify stage. We don't actually know, but I don't think this is going to be something that we should ignore. I want to remind everybody that Bitcoin y00ts could be absolutely exciting because there is a Bitcoin DeGods. Frank and the team have mentioned that they want to be the number 1 NFT collection and number 2 NFT collection, not just on Ethereum, but Solana and also Bitcoin ordinals. So again, who knows how many NFTs you have to have of y00ts or DeGods or even Bitcoin DeGods, but do not forget about this. Right now, I still hold it to the crew that there's going to be 535 Bitcoin y00ts. So let's see what happens. And also in breaking news, over the past weekend, we started seeing that the y00ts Twitter account started unfollowing certain holders. But it's been kind of fluctuating between 600 following to around 1800 following. And a lot of people have actually seen that happen to them where their accounts were unfollowed. But don't be scared, because I think that this happened for a reason. There could be something technical that they're doing behind the scenes. If you don't know, Frank and the D-Labs team have been very quiet, not to provide too much FOMO, too much euphoria, too many things that they promise will happen that may not happen. They're being very quiet strategically for that reason, because they learned from season 3. So this is exactly why I think we could expect something really unique behind the y00ts NFT Twitter page not following people. Maybe we may have to do something. I think that's a great idea. So next up I want to talk about is a recent message by Frank on the Discord page within the y00ts community, only y00ts. He said, the irony is that our ups and downs are a natural condition of the fact that we are always experimenting. Our path for these projects is a unique one. And this has always been the case with DeGods, using that same principle for y00ts. Now, D-Labs is in a way experimenting company, but now it's been retitled to a friendship company. But experimenting is the core root of the D-Labs team. That's why it's really important for everybody to understand that it doesn't just apply to DeGods, but it applies to y00ts as well. And this is exactly why DeGods has been successful. The fact that it's even at 3 ETH rather than 3 Solana is huge. You cannot forget the roots of where this collection goes. I want to remind everybody, if you own 7 or more NFTs within y00ts, you will be considered a 007 role. Now, if you haven't been to this new website, Takashi ended up creating this website. Now, when you go over to the y00ts page, this is the actual website. You can get to know the team members here, get to know a lot of the faculty, but also when you get to the welcome page, this is going to welcome anybody who owns 7 or more y00ts NFTs. And this is really exciting time to be a part of this certain DAO. Be sure to follow y00ts 007 if you haven't already. Again, a great community. They host Twitter spaces and they got to bring up a lot of different DeGod holders as well. Because DeGods and y00ts, there's not one better or less than. They're both equal and they're both unified now on Ethereum, which is absolutely amazing. Now let's conclude the video and we're going to start with DeGods. This is the time around this price where people are going to be fearful of buying in. Whales look at this price, know that it's going to do well, and they know that this will be one of the closest top #1 collections on Ethereum. Again, this is being compared to Bored Apes and CryptoPunks. That is astonishing. That's clearly what you need to understand. And the collection, there's nothing like this out there, where there's a season 1, season 2, season 3 artwork within this specific character. The only type of PFP project that has this specific design and this specific team that's completely transparent and also has one of the strongest communities. So when you look at this price, you have to think like a whale, not like a paper hand or somebody who is putting their mortgage on this. You have to think as if you are somebody who has wealth in their life and also thinks long term. Remember, the 2024 bull market is right around the corner for both Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and most likely NFTs as well. So imagine where DeGods is going to be. People who bought Bored Ape and CryptoPunks before the bull run of NFTs ended up having their life changed by just selling one of their NFTs. So imagine what happens with DeGods. Now, let's talk about y00ts. Now, y00ts is an NFT collection just similar to like Mutant Ape Yacht Club, where it's the second collection to come after the very first series. But keep in mind, the artwork right here is quite unique. There is no other character of y00ts out there. No one knows what to identify these things other than Muppet characters. It's not an ape, it's not an animal. It's just this mysterious character that was created very well from the D-Labs team. And this is something that I think has the great color scheme, the great color palette, and the great design that no other collection can match. So that's why I think y00ts can be substantially crazy rewarding. And the fact that it's around 0.62 Ethereum is absolutely astonishing and ridiculously amazing. This is the type where we're seeing new holders jump in, get exposure to it, and consistently I've seen on Twitter where my Twitter page is completely flooded with DeGod and y00ts holders. That's how much is growing. And the people who are joining in are the most excited. And they're not seeing this price as if it's a bearish sentiment. In fact, they see it as a bullish sentiment, and that's why they're the most active. So pay attention to this. Zoom out, see the overall bigger picture, the overview effect, and you'll understand why DeGods and y00ts will eventually become the #1 NFT and #2 NFT collection on Ethereum. So let me know your thoughts down below on my thoughts and your opinions, and I cannot wait to read them. So be sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page to receive all of our alpha calls, buy and sell orders of both NFTs and cryptocurrencies, and all the updates regarding y00ts and DeGods. Until then, see you guys and girls next time.